very much, Patrick. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And it is a very familiar place for me to be on a Saturday morning at the Waldorf. I did it for 8 years as mayor so many times, greeting so many organizations and groups and people who come to New York City for political reasons, business reasons, social reasons, cultural reasons. This is a great room. It has a great history. Patrick has outlined some of it. You just look at the pictures on the walls when you come in here and you see President Kennedy and President Roosevelt, and I remember meeting here with President Reagan and President Clinton, and this is a very historic place that you're in. Excuse me if I say you're in the capital of the world. New York City to me has always been the capital of the world. And this is the 33rd anniversary of the Iranian Revolution, which makes it a day for reflection on all the horrors that have come about because of the mistakes that were made in policy and in so many other ways. And, you know, as Patrick indicated, that's a very academic way to say it. What those mistakes meant were hundreds of thousands of people, many of them your relatives and friends, who were killed, tortured, or are now presently imprisoned as a result of not recognizing clearly what was going on. And this city is an appropriate place to be because this city has twice been the victim of Islamic extremist terrorism. World Trade Center, of course, was the dramatic and most horrible occasion, but 1993, the same place was attacked by Islamic extremist terrorists in an attack that was planned by Islamic extremists in Union City, New Jersey, which is just right across the river. And with me are many, many distinguished colleagues who are going to say many different points about that. But two of them are colleagues that I work with very closely in the Justice Department and in law practice, the Attorney General, former Attorney General Michael Mukasey, and of course Louis Freeh, who was a federal judge and also director of the FBI and has deep knowledge. So why are we here today? We're here for several reasons, the most important of which, because it's the most timely and it needs to be acted on right now, is Camp Ashraf. I don't know why we turned our back on them. I don't know why we broke our word. It's mind-boggling to me. But now there's this desire to move them from Camp Ashraf, which they've been at for 25 years, many of them, which is, we call it a camp, but it's really a city, it's a community, it's a neighborhood, it's a place they're living in, a place they've developed with all of the tremendous pressures and threats into a decent place. And they want to be moved to this Camp Liberty, which is going to be a tiny little part of a otherwise very large camp, but just a tiny little part where they're going to have a few square feet to live in, where there's going to be no guarantee of access to lawyers, where there's no understanding, in fact, maybe the wrong understanding about who's going to be responsible for it. Looks like the Iraqi police will be guarding them and the UN will be outside. So the first thing that comes to mind to me is, why is this being done at all? Why are they being moved? What's the point of moving them? They're going to be hopefully designated as refugees if the UN could start to begin to act. They're going to be, they've all filled out their applications for refugee status. The UN has to begin the processing. There are countries that have already come forward and offered to take significant numbers of people. That process could have started a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. It can start today. If the UN would get off its... They could be processed now and moved to Italy or Switzerland or the United States or Britain or who knows where. And they could be done right at Camp Ashraf. Nobody would have to be moved, wouldn't have to undergo the expense, wouldn't have to undergo all this turmoil, all this... But it's not being done. So to me, that's a big suspicion. I'm sorry. Before I was the mayor, I was a prosecutor. I'm a suspicious human being. This can't be for a good reason. This can't be because Maliki has the best interests of the people of Ashraf in his heart and mind. So I don't know why this is being done at all. But if it is being done, then why is it that the Iraqi government